this conversation could go in about 100 different directions because you've opened up the can of worms about, not recreating the environment. So in the event that you are completely backwards, whether it be motion or not recreating how the visuals are connected to the chassis, or there's so many. I wouldn't say that the industry is congested with bad product, but it can be argued that there's so much in the market that is confusing. And when you're not recreating the environment, we're introducing motion cues to the brain or lack of cues to the brain that don't exist in the real world. And as a driver, people can get sick. There's a lot of athletic performance and studies that have been done in regards to what bad technology or lack of motion would do to the brain, and how your brain is starting to learn a different process altogether. I mean, if we were to flip the physics of this completely backwards on you, you'd have lasted, maybe a minute and thrown up in the process?
Well, you flip the physics for a professional, and they can tell you something's wrong. You flip the physics for a non-professional, an amateur, a novice. They don't know any different, so they're trying to drive something that's flawed. And it's no different. When I remember my IndyCar days at True Sports, we were doing all this development in a wind tunnel, scale model, development of the IndyCar, and we went out and raced it. We didn't qualify for the Indy 500. Bobby Rahal took the same car, did not qualify for the Indy 500. All that data was flawed because the wind tunnel was flawed. So you're never going to get good data if you have flawed components, whether it's aero components or whether it's movement components or the steering, the visual, the monitors, all that. You have to have the purity of all that stuff, and the only way you know that your movement is correct is by putting professionals in it. I can tell you that from all the years of racing, I jump in this thing, I can tell you I get immersed, and you can put any other professional driver in, let them drive it, and they'll tell you the same thing. And so when you don't know what to expect, it might be your first time in a sim, and you really want to go racing, and you want to get some miles at a track you've never been at before. How are you going to do it? And this is that vehicle that you'll be able to do that.
It's funny that it is the vehicle, right? Because with the studies that have been done on the hardware and the neurological connection that the participant goes through, and the physio and the human response, and as close as this has been rated to reality, it pretty much is a vehicle. And to be able to tune it to exactly how you want it to feel, and having it being delivered as your seat time, not my seat time.
Yeah.
We tune this car for you. And that is going to be the baseline for all the drivers that are going to utilize our technology. It's the same thing with our other professional drivers. They all have different disciplines, and they all have different levels of development needs